Hello, welcome back to part 12, I think? No, this is 13. Well, I lost count. So, what's new? Well, we've gotten upgrades for this set of heroes. We've upgraded all of their armor and skills and weapons to level 2. They're still sick, but the rabies boosts damage by 15%, so I'm not so abrasive to keeping it on these heroes just for a bit longer. It makes them slightly more ferocious. So, we've got our entire medical facilities filled to the brim from the previous event, and these people will be taken care of. So we're removing Hylomania and reinforcing the positive quirk Luminous on Luvette. On Russell, we are curing his creeping cough. On Bondeville, we are getting rid of her Black Plague. And for Corbin, we are removing the Hylomania trait and reinforcing the... I forget if it was evasive or balanced, but one of the two. I think evasive. Either way, I'd reinforce either of those for a Vestal. A Vestal is very position dependent, but that also doesn't mean that an enemy could just cheese that by moving another character out of place to force the Vestal to move without actually going through her move resist. So move isn't always the most consistent, so I think I actually picked evasive. But since I'm not sure, I'll just take her out and put her back in. Hylomania and evasive. So evasion is always nice. You can dodge almost anything and everything. And it's just something that's just good to have. Focusing on it, that's one thing. That's a different set of business. But just passively having it because reasons, we can get behind that. Alright, so we're going to put on this damage stone and the stalwart buckle as per usual. Small stress boost, but for the amount of critical that it gives is very significant. And virtue chance only comes in handy when things get out of control. Which they do all the time, so don't discount that. For the flagellant, we'll be taking, once again, very high bleed resist, so he doesn't bleed. He's very resistant to status ailments. Hopefully no one else gets sick. We'll be taking Junia's head for our healer. And our Jester is going to take the ankle breaking gear. Since his HP is probably the lowest out of all the heroes that we have here. Yeah, definitely the lowest. That's what we're going to do. I'm probably not going to use this for real. Plus 20 dodge at Death's Door, yeah. All fine and dandy, but I'd prefer to keep my flagellant off Death's Door. Can this come in handy? Yes. And can this be used effectively? Yes. Because this is an item where you shouldn't think that this should be what you should have active all the time. It should be something that kicks in when shit hits the fan. If you get slapped by a critical hit, there we go. If you get dogpiled by stress, it turns the tide. This is a tide-turning thing, rather than something like this fortifying garlic that's just a mundanely good effect all the time. This is something that's an extraordinary effect for extraordinary circumstances. But no, I'm probably not going to end up using this. If I didn't have the option of focusing on resisting bleed and status ailments, then I'd definitely go for this thing, because it would be great. So just put all of our items back in order. And, sorry for the yawn again. We'll continue our quests. Now, I was planning on doing the Brigand 8-pounder until I ran into this. I saw that we can get another caregivers convention and continue for providing care for our ailing characters for free. And this is a considerable advantage for us right now, seeing as our medical expenses are probably going to be the highest thing that we have for a little while. Then it'll shift over into gear being the most expensive thing. Once we upgrade the armory and all of that stuff, it's going to be quite expensive. But right now we have enough bank to make sure all of our teams are outfitted with equipment. As you can see, we burned through almost 10,000, or no, yeah, 10,000 gold or so just getting one team halfway equipped. Alright, so we're gonna continue, go straight in. So, hey, I've been pretty consistent, taking anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes explaining the macro that I've been doing and catching everyone up. 2 stacks of torches, 4 shovels, 1 holy water, 2 keys, 2 anti-venom, 2 of these, 1 medicinal herb. So, I think I'm comfortable with this. And one last pass to make sure I've got all of my equipment equipped, and yes I do, so let's go. Oh, I didn't notice the press space to
Our
click.
land is remote and unneighbored. Every lost resource must be recovered.
Alright, so our party has started out with a little bit of stress. Some of the junk in the trunk. But we can deal with this.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
Should have brought more food. I hope we find a beast carcass, because this is a long walk. Hey, we surprised him. I mean, what am I talking about? Of course we surprised him. Yeah, take that, nerd.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Alright, so we only need 2 damage. Can this inflict 2 damage? Yes, it can. And it's a higher chance to hit than Judgment. So we only need 2 damage to make sure she dies. Bleed. She's gonna bleed for 6 and die.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Alright, so since there are no stress enemies currently alive, I'm gonna try and cheese some stress relief into the group. And I'm just gonna let these other characters handle this.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
I was thinking about stunning him, but we might end up just killing him outright next turn. Or we'll just end up completely whiffing. Aha, you're trying to bleed the wrong guy. This is the team I'm going to be using for the Crimson Court. They have extremely powerful bleed attacks, which he's not equipped with his bleed right now, but he will be soon. Excellent. The Jester, when he reduces stress, he applies a buff that decreases the amount of stress received by said character. The Flagellant decreases the stress of another target character by a significant amount in exchange for gaining stress. So we're stacking multiple stress reliefs. And if need be, we can focus our stress reliefs on one character and pile it up on the Flagellant. The Flagellant actually performs better when stress is piled on him. Stress and damage. It's that type of character. Like a berserker.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Except he's religious. And he hurts himself.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
You know, it would be sure nice to find a map of the area. That would be really nice. Okay, these are all stress enemies, so we can't afford to dilly-dally. Can't mess around with these guys. We just dilly-dally really hard. Please bleed. Good. Some of our buffs actually carried over from the other round. Nice. One HP.
A death by inches. Executed with impunity.
Hit. I'm not even gonna risk trying to stress relief somebody else. I'm just gonna kill this dude because whatever stress damage he deals will immediately make the exchange not worth it if he rolls a speed that's higher than any other character we have right now.
Be gone, fiend.
Plus we get a little bit of stress relief for killing him, so it's the best option.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Defender's Seal. Plus 5% protection. I guess that's guaranteed to reduce damage by 1, but the loss of 3 crit doesn't seem worth it. Unless you're not attacking with the Crusader. Which, I guess that I don't do that very often. Since he often can't hit the stress damage dealers. Gonna shoot the rank 4. stab the rank 3. Hit both of them. So either one that we hit will die. I suppose that we can try to go for a direct hit on this one. There we
go. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. Such a terrible assault did not be left unanswered.
That damage was not as high as I thought it would be.
Another
yeah, there you go. Show them how to really hurt people. Alright, no, wait, let's not do that, because they're gonna do it back to us.
A decisive pummeling.
Everybody's going crazy with critical hits right now. Alright, so let's reduce the stress just a little bit. Sneaking in some stress relief.
Quickens.
And you know what? I'm gonna scumbag it really hard here because I know that that enemy can't attack this turn. So, I'm gonna scumbag a little bit more stress relief. Oh no! Well, this is what I get for being greedy. This is the price I pay. Learn from my mistake. This slime with 1 speed managed to outroll the speed of all of my other characters. So a 7-speed character just rolled a 1 or a 0, while this slime just rolled a perfect 8. This is why you don't get greedy.
Their cursed champion falls.
Oh, damn it! Right.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Let's kill the stress damage dealer first. Always kill them first. Alright, now that all the stress damage characters are gone, I'm gonna turtle up a little bit and start trying to relieve some stress.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Due to the fact that we have Junia's head so early on, and it's an extremely powerful trinket, we can, in this instance, out-heal the enemy's damage. Wicked Slice. So effective against the fleshy targets.
to the pit.
I'm really stalling out here just to try and get some free stress relief, and it's working. But I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm going to kill him.
Maintain the offensive.
I'm not gonna leave him hanging around like I did before, because I've gotten too greedy and I just paid the price for it. So I need to learn my lesson from that and make the right decision again. Otherwise, it's going to happen again. You can say that, you can practice good judgment and blah blah blah, but anybody who plays Darkest Dungeon too much, they know about Murphy's Law. Alright, so since this is a quest item, I'm going to come back for it. That's a quest location as well.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Alright, we didn't get a scout chance for a special room, so that's okay.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I should have equipped my bleed, but I didn't. Oh well. Oh, another fun fact. Flagellants, you're not allowed to have two of them in one party. Same for the Abomination. The Abomination used to be unable to join parties with religious characters. But since one of the less recent patches that happened long ago,
spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
That's not the case anymore. The Abomination can play with anyone. They just adjusted some of his skills to stress out religious characters more than others. Right, so we can go for an attack, but I think that'll be potentially wasted damage since our flagellant can finish them off anyway. So I'm going to continue reducing stress. Since there are no stress enemies. Alright, so all but this last enemy at rank 2 is dead, effectively. Sorry again for the yawning, I'm very tired. Excellent.
This expedition at least promises success.
Well, I'll take that. So we have to pick up 2 medical cases. Now, I'm knowing that we're going to need more food, so I'll keep the medicinal herbs, and I suppose we will get rid of the bandages. It's unfortunate that we're going to have to discard them, but... Or, wait. Use the bandage on the
If only
medkit.
treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Got it. We might have to scrap 1 torch in order to pick up the next objective item.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
There you go. We've got the medicines. I don't think that there's going to be 3 obstructions in that area. So I'm going to confidently use a shovel here to get some more loot. Because we've already encountered 1 obstruction already. And on a medium quest, there should be no more than 3 obstructions. If there's more than 3, then you got unlucky. But that's why I always take 4. The stress relief has worked out quite well with this Jester. And because we got lucky with the items that we've acquired, we can actually afford this type of party composition. Well, we got deeds, crests, portraits, so we're carrying everything that we need right now for heirlooms. And I don't think any of this gold is worth dropping for more heirlooms. We do need to upgrade our facilities, but we need to gather the money to be able to upgrade all teams all at once.
The light,
or at least
promise
the
of
teams
safety.
that are going to go into dungeons first. In succession of one another. But we've got plenty of time to do that. We've got a ways to go. Oi! You're pushing my highwaymen out of position. I don't appreciate that much, young bloke. Gonna have to slice your face off for that. I wonder how my voice sounds in the recording trying to say that. Probably sounds cringy as all hell. I know I'm using a bleed attack, but I don't want to use Dark Stab and move more characters out of position. Or you know what? I can use Dark Stab. Dark Stab is fine. Yes, it moves me forward, but I can also move forward with the Highwayman and get closer to being in position. Brawler misses his attack, and we follow up with a dazzling
A
light.
blazing star is born.
Wayne gives us amazing wrestling commentary. Oh! I was thinking about making an RKO move right there, but
and improvement.
nah, not gonna do it to him. medicine. You know, I kind of like quests like this. It feels a bit spontaneous when you come across the quest objectives. You never know when you're actually going to find them. Other missions are somewhat predictable, but you guys saw I had to go all over the place on the right side to find those. And I could have gone left and finished this entire left half of the dungeon and not known where the heck these medicines were. But I actually finished it as early as possible. And then we saw a mission earlier where I did one fight and I found all of the medicines, but willingly stayed because I needed more loot. It's very spontaneous with these quests. I really like that. I mean, yes, it's a fetch quest, but at the same time, it can end early or later, and doing things like having bonus chances to scouting can really save you a lot of time on these missions. Some of them you might even be able to slip past without ever fighting. Alright, so I'm not going to drop anything. I'm going to go around, down, and come back. See if we can maybe find more stuff. These two jerks again that never drop anything. And me always forgetting to change off of Wicked Slice when I'm around in this area. Because the enemies are vulnerable to bleed, and the open vein has a higher accuracy rating. 100 accuracy, whereas this is 90. Give him that critical hit. Nice. We get the kill and a crit. So we get 6 stress relief instead of 3.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Oh! Nice dodge. That actually
Finding the
surprised me
stuff
for
is
a
only
second
the
there.
first
I was
test.
kind of
Now it must be carried home.
losing my attention as I was sitting here playing, and then a sudden movement just jostles me, and I'm disorientated at the sound and speed of the trap that just happened. Meanwhile, this here flagellant, he's ready for anything and everything. I'm perfectly fine touching that because I've got resistance to disease, blight, and bleed, so you can actually touch dangerous curios slightly more often. Depending on the curio. If it's going to be something that gives you a negative trait, you still don't want to touch it. But something where you're afraid of disease or bleed or blight from traps, that garlic, the fortifying garlic, really helps you. Gonna take this medicine.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Since we just ate in that previous area, this hallway should be guaranteed to have no hunger checks. Really hoping we could find a beast carcass and have ourselves a nice feast. Let's use the key, since we have no anti-venom. I don't think there's going to be any more obstructions, so we might as well take this crest. Yeah, we're dumping our stuff off, but I'd take 4 crests over, like, the 40 gold pieces we're going to get back from shovels. I keep forgetting to change my thing back from Wicked Slice, but we keep running into enemies where Wicked Slice is effective. Other than those fat fungus enemies. Wicked Slice is very effective against all of the others because they have no protection. No! No! Yeah. No. I just had an emotional roller coaster. A miniature one. Right. Please die. Thank you. Now listen here, you slimes. You're gonna die, and you're gonna stop attacking. We keep killing them, but they just keep coming back. Stun it. There we go, that's better.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Sorry. Excuse me. No, once again, no protection, but a big fat frontliner. So we're gonna go ahead and set up this riposte because I know that the Brigand Fusilier will use an area of effect attack. The Brigand Cutthroat also likes to use a double slice, or slice and dice, that's the name of the attack, on the front two characters. So we'll get that riposte ready to attack all of them. We're going to use a bleed attack on this Brigand Bloodletter. Since he inflicts stress damage, we want him to die immediately. And now we're going to start piling on the damage. 7 damage per turn. Alright, so we've got a nice little, almost coin toss. This is 60-40 in my favor. This is done. We could just try to go for straight damage, but if we stun him, he will die from the bleed. Alright, stun successful. So he's going to take 7 damage twice in a row. And he's gonna die on his own. Excellent. I mean, there's not much that we could do other than just kill him, so I suppose we could try and kill him, get a crit, to get some stress relief on our characters, or just get it just from getting the kill.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
Alright, we're gonna finish off this enemy. We're not gonna finish off the enemy. Go for the glory. Good job.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Right, we have no idea what's ahead of us, but we are being offered one poison vial. If we keep the medicinal herbs, there's a chance that we may still run into a carcass and be able to feast. For what little stress relief it offers, I mean, we could still camp and get rid of all of our stress without that sort of stuff. So, maybe we don't actually need it. Oh, if we get a food check, we're going to take a lot of stress damage, though. If we decide to camp with no food. I make this thinking noise while I just start moving around items in my inventory. Well, let's not debate over it too much. We need the deeds really badly. So, let's just get rid of it and take the deeds. I'm being stingy about stress relief, and what we've got 7, 9, 5. Ooh. Whatever's worth past here better be worth it. We have a campfire though, right? We're good.
Without tools of iron, you must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
God damn it. Watch this shit be an empty room. Oh, it's not an empty room. Oh, it is definitely not an empty room. Aha! Alright, no more stress enemies left alive. Except for my pain, sorrow, and suffering. Let's get a stun on one of these guys and hope that the other doesn't use psychokinesis. You better not ectoplasmic perfusion. I swear to God. Oh, okay. Cytokinesis, I don't like that, but on 3, maybe on champion level dungeons, which is level 5, resolve, this cytokinesis skill actually inflicts stress damage. Just a fun fact for you guys. So make sure you actually pay attention, because some of the effects, some of the enemy skills start adding effects and whatnot. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to misunderstand.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Right, so we can reduce the stress of every hero by a little bit. We can try to go for gallows humor, which sounds nice. Minus 20 stress to everybody. There's a small chance of plus 10, but what could possibly go wrong? That. Alright, well, let's encourage him a little bit. Hey, give him a lucky coin. It's kind of heartwarming to read the characters just being nice to each other. The light shines the brightest in the darkness. That is true. If you think about, well, the concept of light in general, if everything is bright, nothing really shines, does it? But the moon is much more visible than the sun is at night. Wait, hold on, I fucked that up. This is awkward. But let me try that again. You guys can just, fast forward it to this part and pretend that I was saying it really cool. And doing it right the first time. Well, yeah, the sun is much less noticeable compared to the moon at night than the sun is in the day. Because everything's nice and bright during the day. You're looking around town, all over the place. But at night, the moon is the sole source of light, aside from stars. Do a little prayer. Alright, so we didn't get ambushed. Alright, well, we grabbed all we can grab.
These medicines will prevent the outbreak of epidemic at our struggling hamlet.
Alright, so not very much gold from that one compared to the gigantic hauls we got from the previous quests. But I'd call it a fair one. Luminous, once again. What an amazing trait. Or quirk, I'm sorry.
The preponderance of rare and exotic injuries makes this place perfect for the study of suffering.
Righto. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll do some macro management and get started on some episodes again very soon. Thanks for watching. And have a good one. Hope you guys enjoy the videos.